All right, welcome back. You're locked in for a fresh deep dive, and this time we're teeing off into something a little different. Still packed with competitive spirit, though. The upcoming 2025 Dad Bod Cup.
That's right. Yeah, we've actually got some inside scoop here. We've got the format details, the teams.
Team Rob Joe and Team McBurk.
Exactly. And even the opening day matchups for the McGrain and Friends 11th annual weekend gathering. It's quite the event.
Okay, so our mission today, pretty straightforward. Cut through the details, give everyone the essential intel on this golf showdown.
Yeah, we'll break down the format, talk about the players, really set the scene for Friday.
That's good. So Friday, June 6, 2025, that's the date. Twin Lakes Golf Club.
Correct. And there are 2 sessions that day. 2 different ways to test these teams.
Okay, let's start with session 1 then. 9 holes, 4 ball. Now, maybe for folks not super deep into golf formats, what's the deal with 4 ball?
Right, so 4 ball, you've got 2-person teams. Each player plays their own ball the whole way through the hole. Then you take their net score, that's their actual score, minus any handicap strokes they get on that hole.
The handicap matters.
Hugely.
Yeah.
And the lower of the 2 partners' net scores is the team score for that hole. Team with the best net score wins the hole, gets a point.
And if they tie?
It's a half. No points awarded. Simple as that.
Got it. So it's kind of like individual play, but with a safety net from your partner.
Exactly. Then, the afternoon session 2, another 9 holes, but it shifts to a 2-man scramble.
Okay, scramble. How's that change things up?
Scramble really amps up the teamwork aspect. Both players tee off.
Right.
Then they walk up, look at the 2 shots, and decide, okay, which one's better.
And both play from that spot.
Yep. Both play their second shot from that chosen spot, usually within a club length. Pick up the other ball. You keep doing that until the ball's in the hole. Again, 1 point for the match.
So much more about, like, strategy and maybe covering for each other's weaknesses.
Definitely. You might have a great driver paired with a great putter, for example. It changes the dynamic quite a bit.
Cool. Okay, let's meet the teams fighting for this Dad Bod Cup. First, Team Rob Joe. Led by Captain Rob Matula and Vice Captain Matt Moyer. And, wow, look at this roster. Cole Oden, he's a 3 handicap.
Yeah, very solid.
Jay Cusia, 5. Eric Wellman, 8.9. Chris Oden, 9.5. Josh Coleman, 11.4. Carson Atkins, 11.5. Aiden Atkins, 11.6.
Lots of Atkins on these teams.
Seems like it. Bill McGrain, 12.2. Rob Matula himself, the captain, 13. Blade Tackett, 15.3. Connor Atkins, 19.5. And Vice Captain Matt Moyer, 22.5. That is quite a range of handicaps.
It is a deep squad. And they'll be facing Team McBurk, captained by Zach McGrain.
Another McGrain.
Yep, handicap 7.2. And his vice captain is Bryce Burkhart, way up there at 26.7.
Interesting contrast at the top.
It is. Their team includes Chaz McGrain, a 10, Drew Matula, 10.7, Terry Atkins, 12.6, Farron Volkmer, 13.6, Dan Largent, 20.1, Darren Wilson, 20.9, Andrew Houston, 21.4, Tim Mergel, 21.7, Riley Atkins, 25.4, and Jim Atkins, 25.8, plus Bryce himself.
Okay, another stacked team. And we can't forget Jared Davis, index 23.1. He's listed as reserve player and event security.
Yes, crucial role, I imagine, keeping things orderly for both sides.
You bet. All right, let's get into the nitty-gritty. The Friday matchup. Session 1 and 2 pairings. 6 matches lined up.
And each one seems to have its own little story starting to form based on the notes we have.
Okay. Match 1, Chris Oden and Captain Rob Matula for Rob Joe versus Tim Mergel and Terry Atkins for McBurk. What jumps out here?
Well, the description says Matula is the emotional leader.
Right.
In match play, especially 4-ball where things can swing. That could be huge. Keeping your partner up if they hit a bad shot.
Good point. And Chris Oden.
He's described as having a calm presence, so maybe a good balance there.
Like fire and ice.
Sort of. Then for McBurk, Mergel apparently knows Twin Lakes really well. Home course advantage.
That's always big.
And Terry Atkins. Well, the notes mention his strong golf vocabulary.
Uh-huh. You mean trash talk?
Could be. Maybe some psychological warfare. We'll see.
Love it. Okay, match 2. Josh Coleman and Aiden Atkins for Rob Joe against Dan Largent and Riley Atkins for McBurk. This one feels like experience versus the rookie factor.
Yeah, Coleman's got match play experience, which is, a different beast than just shooting a score, mentally tough. Aiden Atkins is a rookie, but also a champion already, so clearly not easily intimidated.
Impressive.
On the McBurk side, Dan Largent, he's a winning coach, so he's smart, strategic, but how's his actual game under pressure here? Bit of an unknown.
Interesting. and Riley Atkins.
Notes say he's not the strongest golfer, but look at that handicap, 25.4 in four-ball net scoring.
He could pop up with a net birdie or eagle out of nowhere.
Exactly. He gets a lot of strokes. He doesn't have to shoot lights out gross to contribute a really low net score on a few holes. That could be huge.
That high handicap advantage. Okay, match 3. This is juicy. Bill McGrain and Carson Atkins for Rob Joe versus Chas McGrain and Farron Volkmer for McBurk.
Yep, the McGrain family feud element. Bill's described as solid, reliable, and Carson Atkins has apparently improved a lot.
So, a potentially strong pair for Rob Joe.
Seems like it. For McBurk, Chas McGrain is a good all-around player, but there's a note about past match play losses. Could that creep into his head?
Pressure is different in match play.
It really is. And his partner, Farron Volkmer,
Mm-hmm.
decades of experience. You just can't teach that. If he's on his game mentally, that course management is tough to beat.
Experience versus maybe some nerves.
Mm-hmm.
Could be fascinating. All right, match 4. Eric Wellman and Blade Tackett for Rob Joe against Vice Captain Bryce Burkhardt and Darren Wilson for McBurk.
This one looks like a clash of styles. Wellman, well-rounded game, knows the course, very solid. Blade Tackett, his handicap has dropped significantly, which is great, but the question is, can he sustain that level in a real match?
Right, practice range is one thing.
Exactly. Then for McBurk, Burkhardt is described as erratic but competitive.
High risk, high reward.
Could be. Capable of brilliance or, well, disaster. Pairing him with Darren Wilson, who hits it a mile.
The bomb.
Yeah, but the notes say he needs accuracy. If Wilson's driving it long and straight and Burkhardt's competitive fire is burning hot, they could be dangerous. But if not...
could go sideways fast. Okay, match 5. Jake Cusia and Connor Atkins for Rob Joe take on Captain Zach McGrain and Drew Matula for McBurk. Feels like some redemption narratives here.
Oh, definitely. Cusia has the second lowest handicap in the whole group. Serious game. But he's a rookie here. Pressure.
Always a factor.
Then Connor Atkins. He was apparently the surprise star in 2023. Can he do it again?
Big question.
For McBurk, Captain Zach McGrain, notes say he went 0-3 last year. You know he wants to erase that memory badly.
Captain needs to lead by example.
For sure. And his partner, Drew Matula, interesting story. He captained the losing team last year, but personally went 3-0.
Wow. So he knows how to win in this format, even if his team didn't.
Exactly. Lots of individual motivation swirling in that match.
Sounds intense. Okay, last one, match 6. Cole Oden and Vice Captain Matt Moyer for Rob Joe versus Andrew Houston and Jimmy Atkins for McBurk.
Yeah, this one. Cole Oden is apparently the best golfer in the whole membership. Low handicap guy.
The anchor for Rob Joe, maybe?
Could be. And Matt Moyer, his partner, was the MVP of the 2024 event, so he clearly handles this environment well.
That's a strong pairing on paper.
Very. For McBurk, Andrew Houston sounds like he's been playing more lately. Maybe his game is sharp.
We'll find out.
And Jimmy Atkins, described as the team morale guy, the heart and soul. He'll be looking for a big moment, contribute a key point.
The glue guy.
Yeah.
Every team needs one. This match, especially in Scramble, feels like it could get wild if someone gets hot.
Absolutely. A couple of good shots strung together in Scramble, and the momentum can really shift fast.
Man, 6 matches, so many angles. Friday sounds like it's going to be fantastic. But the Dad Bod Cup isn't just Friday, is it?
Nope. That's just the setup. We know Session 3, the grand finale, gets announced Friday evening after all the dust settles.
Okay.
And that's 18 holes of singles matches, head-to-head, Saturday, June 7th, over at Oak Tree Golf Club.
Singles. So just one-on-one, mano-a-mano. Explain that format quickly.
Yeah, simplest format, really. One player from Team Rob Joe against one player from Team McBurk. You play the hole. Lowest score wins the hole, gets a point for the team.
Tie.
Hole is halved, no points. You do that for 18 holes. Those individual points all add up, and that's often where these team events are decided. Nowhere to hide in singles.
Right. No partner to bail you out. Okay, so just to wrap our heads around this.
Yeah.
This deep dive, hopefully, has given everyone a really solid preview of the start of the 2025 Dad Bod Cup.
We've hit the formats 4-ball, then Scramble on Friday.
Introduced the teams, Rob Joe and McBurk, and some of the key players and their handicaps.
And we've gone through those Friday matchups, looking at the potential dynamics, the, contrasting styles. The little storyline's already baked in.
Yeah, you should have a pretty clear picture now of what to expect on day one and who the main characters are in this drama.
Exactly. A good foundation for following the action.
So, as we leave you to think about all this, maybe chew on a couple of things. You look at those teams, those formats for Friday. Which team's strategy, or maybe just their roster construction, seems, better suited for that 4-ball and Scramble combo?
Interesting question. And those individual matches,
Uh-uh.
is there one that screams upset potential more than others?
Yeah. Where could we see a surprise? And maybe one last thought.
Yeah.
Whatever happens Friday, how much will that tell us or hint at about who might have the edge heading into those crucial Saturday singles matches?
Good points. Lots to watch for. It's shaping up to be quite the weekend at the Dad Bod Cup.